Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Matrix Resurrections, the latest Matrix, Matrix 4, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm really not doing, I'm kind of on the fence about doing the non-spoiler version of it. So if you haven't watched the first three Matrix movies, you're probably not going to watch the fourth one just offhandedly. So if you're on the fence about whether or not you should watch the fourth Matrix movie, even though you've seen the first three Matrix movies, I'm going to say no, don't do it. It is on HBO Max, so if you have HBO Max and you're curious about it, go for it. But I'm just going to say right now, it's not worth your time. That's the non-spoiler version of it in a nutshell. And I'm going to get into more specifics in the spoiler version here because there's a lot that needs to be going over on this, quite honestly. So, before I get started on that, though, let me take care of some business first. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. You'll see the YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you don't want to be notified when I come on live by YouTube, because YouTube's are, they're kind of dicks actually right now. What you can do is hit that bell down below and you won't be notified when I come on live again next. So what you should do, go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages on there as well. I also mirror the schedule over on my Facebook page. So if you guys, still have Facebook, go in and take a look at the Facebook page, and the schedule is up there as well. So with that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, good for you. You can watch it and then come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Giving you enough time to hit the pause button, stop button, whatever you're going to do. All right. So there we go. Wow. So I just read an article this morning that from it was actually interviewing James McTeague, who is of course a director in his own right, but also, hey Marks, how's it going? Um, he's a director in his own right, but he's also the executive producer for the Matrix movies. He's also been linked to the Wachowskis for the longest time. And he said, so the whole thing, the joke inside the Matrix Resurrections is that it's a video game and Warner Brothers wants a sequel to the video game. And they're going to do it with or without Neo's help or Anderson's help in this one. Thomas Anderson is what his name is. And yeah, he ended up, of course. So this mirrors what happened in real life. In real life, Warner Brothers basically told the Wachowskis, "We're going to do a sequel with or without you." This is what Mateague has been saying in this interview that he did. And Lana Wachowski said, "Sure, I'll do it," and jumped in and did it. And what we get is Matrix Resurrections. So what I didn't like about this movie is, well, one, there's no point to it. There's really no point for this being other than being a big fucking money grab. That's really all it is. It's a money grab because the Matrix has been gone for the last 20 years from theaters, roughly thereabouts. And so Warner Brothers, of course, wants to cash in on their, dormant property here. But again, like every other property that Warner Brothers owns, they don't know how to fucking pull it off. And so they lose the potential for money by fucking it up big time. And this would have been better served as a series, like an animated series, something like that for HBO Max. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't see this as being anything other than I don't see it being another live action movie. This was a rehash of a lot of shit that didn't need to be there. Um, no, it did not actually grab money more. So I'll get into that in a little bit. So one of the things in here is it's very meta in the movie is that they're talking about how how nostalgic people are for other movies and stuff like that, that the remakes are the big thing right now and blah, 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 blah. And they go ahead and spout that out in the dialogue. And then, of course, go and make a movie exactly about what they're grouching about in the dialogue itself. And it's so I don't even know how what it is, at this point, because it's so stupid, honestly, that it's not worth anybody's time at this point. Jessica Henwick, she had the choice between this and starring in Shang-Chi. She chose very fucking poorly. Not starring in Shang-Chi. She would have had a role in Shang-Chi. Honestly, she should have gone for the Marvel role because this is going to be a one and done. It's not making any money. It was a $200 million budget on this movie. And from what I heard so far, they've only gotten 2.8 million viewers on HBO, which equates to, if you look at $16 a month as being that, it comes out to about $44.2 million is what it is, which isn't a lot. And then they've only made like $25 million stateside in theater sales. So you put that together, that's 60 some odd $1 million, right? $70 million, maybe. That's not a lot on a $200 million movie in which you double because of advertising budget and everything. That's $400 million they need to make in order to break even. So there you go. Um, Mork says Shang-Chi wasn't that great either, but I see your point. Well, she's not going to have another role in the Matrix franchise. Bugs was not a character that I needed nor wanted within this the Matrix thing. And Neil Patrick Harris, dude, stop selling out. Really stop selling out. I mean, I know you're doing roles for money at this point, but fucking stop it. I mean, 8-Bit Christmas. I didn't even watch that piece of shit, but I could already tell it was a piece of shit from a mile away. And you star in that. So, and then being the analyst in this one makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah. So it's really stupid. Really, really fucking stupid to actually even attempt this rather than just making it a series or, like I said, an animated series would have been better than doing it this way. And then the whole hand wavedness of how Trinity and Neo come back, and it's supposed to be 60 years after the original Matrix series, is that the analyst brings them back to life by reconstructing their bodies or something like that, and finds out that every time they try and do a simulation with them, which again, we're not told why they keep doing the simulation, since it's supposed to be it was supposed to be a treaty between the machines and the humans at that point, that they were going to work together to solve this crisis. Well, now it's an energy crisis at this point for the machines that led them to this, and the humans so that they can survive. But that wasn't even brought up at all in this. This wasn't even thought about, quite honestly. They just say that by bringing Neo and Trinity together, but not too close together, they generate enough power that that's all the machines need. Okay, why? Because you already had the treaty in place. I don't understand. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't. So, yeah. Yeah, Morks, I agree with you. Bugs was forgettable, like, right after they introduced her. It's kinda like they introduce her, and I'm like, "Okay." They introduced the Trinity clone, I guess it was, where they're rehashing the Matrix all over again in that little module that they had. Um, and that didn't make any sense to me either. I mean, there's a lot of things in this movie that don't make any sense and rehash a lot of the first movie altogether. Um, it's a bad movie. It's just a bad movie all the way around. It really is. So bad, as a matter of fact, that Fishburne didn't want anything to do with it. He's gone out of this. So instead, we get Morpheus Light, which is played by Yahya Abdul God, I can never remember his name because it's fucking a mouthful. I'm sorry, but Yahya Abdul Mateen II. So he plays Morpheus Light, I call him, who is supposed to be a digital version of Morpheus and Smith mixed together, Agent Smith. And then Agent Smith is supposed to be in this as well, played by a different person too. Um, because Hugo Weaving didn't want to come back, thank God. I mean, there's a lot of people that just said, "Yeah, peace out. We're good. We get our residuals from the original movies. We're good for doing this." So Mork says, "I heard the game Matrix Online had something to do with it. Apparently, in the game, Neo explodes, and one of the quests is to rebuild him." Oh, okay. Well, that still doesn't make any sense. Stanley says the original premise was already stupid. No, the original premise was actually some pretty good sci-fi, Stanley. It really was. Um, this was just an unnecessary money grab, is really what it was. It's not worth your time. It's aggravating more than anything else. It's it's almost that that ironic shit that was going on about 10 years ago, the irony for irony's sake kind of stuff, and it really doesn't lend to any more. It doesn't push the Matrix mythos further, and it doesn't push it back either. It's just there. It really has no reason for being other than to grab more money. That's really all this is all about. So, yeah, it's just horrible all the way around. And honestly, I was getting bored about, 30 minutes in, then an hour in. It's like over 2 hours long. What is it at now? I actually have the IMDb up here, so I can tell you how long it is. And of course, it doesn't tell me because IMDb has removed that from the list. It's 2 hours and some odd minutes long. So, yeah, it's not worth it. So, it really is not worth your time. It's probably one of the worst movies I've seen so far this year. I'm gonna go that far in saying that. It's one of the worst movies I've seen this far this year. And I haven't watched any of the Bruce Willis direct-to-video movies. 2.5 hours long. Thank you, Marks. So, yeah, 2.5 hours long. So, I haven't watched any of the Bruce Willis movies, which I know are worse, the directed to, streaming movies that he's got going on where he sits in a chair for a good majority of them because that's all they got out of him. But, yeah, this is one of the worst. This is the worst movie I've seen so far this year. Stanley says the math for energy production by using humans doesn't work out. There are much more efficient ways to produce energy. Yeah, I know. I know, but you don't need to go into that much detail about it. Hey, Warren, what's going on? And Warren says agreed. It was horrible. Yes, it was fucking horrible. Hopefully you made it out of the snowy hell that you're in up there, Warren. um, so yeah, stay away from it. You really don't need to go into this unless you've watched everything else that there is to watch. And trust me, there's a lot more stuff out there that's better to watch than watching this. Oh, and they really did kind of leave it open for another sequel to it, where Trinity and Neo fly off to go and remake, I guess, The Matrix. I don't know exactly. They left that kind of vague as well. So, yeah, it's just tiring. I mean, the whole point of The Matrix was to free people from it and also work with the machine. So you do see a little bit of that with humans and machines working together. You get to see Naomi, who is now old and working in Ion. We never know what actually happened to Zion because Zion disappeared, you know, or Ios, excuse me. Ios is what it is now, not Ion. I just thought it was that stupid where you just remove the Z and you go Ion instead of Ios. But anyway, yeah, it just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. It really doesn't. So, yeah. What do you want to do with it? Um, And like I said, they could have gone the Animatrix route. The Animatrix is actually fairly cool. They did a good job with that. You don't need to revolve around Neo and Trinity all the fucking time. You can do other characters. You can do why is the Matrix still in effect, for example? I mean, like Stanley said, there are much more efficient ways of actually harvesting energy, even without the sun, that you can do. But yeah, anyway. Ah, Stanley says, I'm boosted now, so in 2 weeks I could risk a theater again. Okay. Yeah. I would definitely go and see Spider-Man No Way Home before Matrix 4. I'm actually gonna go see Spider-Man No Way Home tomorrow, as a matter of fact, again, in the theater. That's how much I liked it. So Mork says I got an Apple Crow like joke. Neo is the one, Trinity is the three, and this movie is number two. Oh man. Morks. That isn't even Apple Crow-esque kind of joke. That is, I don't know. Yeah. Well, Warren, hopefully you stand warm up there. So, yeah, I still can't say how bad this movie is. I mean, this is something that old Keanu Reeves would have done. He would have made a bad movie like this, and I was kind of, you know, I had the benefit of the doubt going in because current Keanu Reeves actually made this movie, and I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot," because current Keanu Reeves has been making some good movies lately. And then I was like, "Nope, this is the Boathouse or whatever it is, that Sandra Bullock bullshit movie." This is kind of equating with that. I take that back. He actually did Replicas too, which was a really horrible fucking movie. So, yeah, he does make some bad movies from time to time, and when they're bad, they're really, really bad, kinda like this one. So stay far away from it. Yeah. Well, with that said, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be the Book of Boba Fett. That's right. The Book of Boba Fett is tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, as well as the contest results for Hawkeye. So if you don't know what the contest is, if you go over to my last review of Hawkeye, the review of the last episode 6, and you leave a comment in the comment section, as long as you're in the continental United States, first prize is this pin of Kate and Hawkeye. It's an ugly sweater pin. That's right. Second prize is Hawkeye. That's right. It's a Hawkeye pin right there. And third prize is a Kate Bishop pin. There you go. And all you need to do is leave a comment in the comment section. Only one entry per comment. I mean, you can leave 50 comments. You're still only going to get one entry. But then after that, I'm going to pick a name, and then pick names for the pins, and then of course you win the pin. I send it to you. So there you go. Bork says, so far it's unanimous. People do not like this movie. It's not divisive like Star Wars. Yeah, I know. Stanley says, can the actors know before they sign the contract how much do they know about the final movie? They get the script, Stanley. So usually when an actor is signing on to a movie, they're getting the script, and they're given the script and saying, okay, here's your role. Here's what you're going to be saying. And do you want to do this? And then the actor says yay or nay on that. It's not like they go, oh, we're doing this movie. We don't have a script. Are you in or out? No, they actually read a script before they actually do it. So Stanley says 10 and a half hours until Boba Fett episode 1. Exactly. That is correct, sir. I'm looking forward to the Book of Boba Fett. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, yes, a script can change during the process, but at the same time, actors like Keanu Reeves have usually they have the clause in their contract where they have approval over the script changes. So, like Will Smith, up until recently, I believe, used to have power over the final edit of the film, even. Yeah, that's how big of a star he was. And then, of course, he started putting out stinker after stinker after stinker. And I think that came out of his claws now, that he no longer has choice of edit at the very end there. So, all right. So, with that said, Joseph Campbell, the hero with a thousand faces. Okay. Yes, I know it's all Joseph Campbell. Universo. Universo set. So, yeah. But anyway, it was a bad movie. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the day. Thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos. My vast video library pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you don't want to be notified by YouTube, because that's just how they roll, hit that bell down below and YouTube won't notify you when I come on live again next. So what you should do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages up there as well. So with that said, Stanley, you have a nice day as well. I will see you guys again tomorrow for Boba Fett. And before let me put the brakes on there. I was going through the whole week and then all of a sudden I stopped. But tomorrow is going to be Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, episode 1. Also the results for the contest for Hawkeye. The results for the Hawkeye contest. Thursday is going to be Station 11 episodes 6 and 7. Friday is going to be The Expanse episode 4. Is that right? I think it's episode 4. Yes. Saturday, of course, I'm going to be off because it's New Year's Day and we're all going to be, off, I believe. And then Sunday will be another episode of Spoiler Alert, where basically we get to talk about anything that's out into the general public, no sneak previews or anything like that you want to talk spoilers about. There you go. So there we go. And that's about as far as I've gotten at this point. So you have 2 on the title of episode 3. Do I? Okay, well, I'll take a look at that, Morks. So thank you, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may just get befuddled because this movie was just so fucking bad that it makes your mind actually just go blank. That's how bad it is. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get those booster shots as well, and also get those flu shots too. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Be safe out there. Thanks, everyone.